Let me ask you something real quick. When was the last time you looked at your savings account and felt genuinely proud of it? Not just relieved it's there, but proud that it's actually building your future the way you imagined when you first set up that auto transfer. Because I see this all the time. Someone works hard, gets disciplined, auto saves every month, skips the dumb purchases, and a few years later they check the balance and feel this weird mix of pride and disappointment. The number's bigger, but it doesn't feel bigger. That's not paranoia. That's a signal. The system you're working inside wasn't designed to reward savers. It was designed to reward investors. Meet Frank. Solid income, not frivolous. Since his first paycheck, he's moved $600 every month into a high-yield savings account. No skipping. 5 years later, he's contributed $36,000. The interest? About $2,500 total. Meanwhile, rent's up 18%, groceries cost more, car insurance keeps climbing, the balance grew on paper, but his real purchasing power, what that money actually buys, barely moved. Frank didn't mess up. He did exactly what every responsible money voice told him to do. And that's the problem. Saving is the foundation. Most people were never shown the second step.
Let's get to the mechanics, because this is where it clicks. Right now, 2026, the best high-yield savings accounts are paying around 4 to 4.4% APY, maybe 5% with promos. Sounds decent, but here's what nobody factors in. The IRS taxes that interest as ordinary income. If you're in the 22% federal bracket, you're not keeping 4.4%. You're keeping about 3.4% after tax. Inflation's running roughly 2.5 to 3% right now, so your real gain after taxes and inflation less than 1% a year. You're not building wealth, you're treading water. So who actually wins when your cash sits there? The bank. You deposit $10,000, they don't lock it in a vault, they lend it out as mortgages at 7%, credit cards at 20%, business loans at 9%. They pay you your 4% and they keep the spread. You supply the capital, they do the investing. That's not a scandal, that's fractional reserve banking. But it means the most rewarded person from your savings habits isn't you. Now run the same 10K a different way. Put it in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. No stock picking, just owning 500 of the biggest U.S. companies. Be conservative, say 7% average return. In 10 years, that 10K grows to about $19,700. The same 10K in savings, about $15,300. And that savings number doesn't even count the tax drag you pay every single year. And here's the kicker. Interest is taxed at your highest rate. Qualified dividends from those index funds, way better. In 2026, a single filer earning under $49,450 pays 0% federal tax on qualified dividends. Literally zero. Same $3,000 earned. Saver pays full income tax. Investor under that threshold pays nothing on the dividends. Same amount, totally different outcome. The tax code rewards patient investors. That's where a Roth IRA changes the game. In 2026, you can put in $7,500 per year, $8,600 if you're 50 or older. Phase-out starts at $153,000 for single filers. Inside that Roth, every dollar of growth, every dividend is 100% tax-free. Withdraw after 59.5 and you own nothing. Put in $7,550 this year, it's 7%. That one contribution alone becomes around $57,000 by retirement, and you keep every cent. So why doesn't everyone do this? Honestly, psychology. A savings account feels safe. It never shows a red number, it looks stable. But that stability hides a slower loss. Inflation eating your purchasing power, years of compounding you'll never get back, and the economy growing without you. Volatility feels risky because the numbers move, but the real risk over 20 years is your money losing value quietly, year after year, while you watch it stay safe. The shift is simple. Stop protecting cash you don't need and start putting it to work. First, build an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses in that high-yield savings. That's the foundation. Stop there. Second, open a Roth IRA and automate contributions. Even $200 a month into a total market index fund is real wealth building. Third, if your job has a 401k match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. That's a 50% or 100% instant return. Leaving it on the table is the most expensive, safe mistake. The system rewards people who understand how capital moves, how tax law works, and how compounding works over time. Savers provide the fuel, investors get the miles.